Pat, I'm sure, is a big TikToker.
Look, I don't know how you can count them out right now.
All right, let's talk about some guys on ESPN actually speaking in favor of the Chiefs. Aaron Rodgers continuing to troll Mahomes, a small Orlando Brown Jr. update, and much more. But first, how about those?
Hey, how about those Chiefs? Ready, go!
What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall, so I'm going to need you to sub if you're new. Hit that like button if you want to see Mahomes and Josh Allen win their little golf match against the old guys tonight on TNT. And let's get into this news, starting with Aaron Rodgers having a pretty decent troll on Mahomes yesterday. I can't even deny it. In fact, as a level 17 troll myself, I have to tip my hat to the guy for this one, because he said,
when you open your phone, what social app do you check first?
Probably Instagram. It used to be Twitter when Twitter was fun. Pat, I'm sure, is a big TikToker. It runs in the family.
Aaron Rodgers literally has zero chill here and does not give 1 ounce of pigeon feces what anyone thinks about his very own thoughts, because he definitely makes it clear that every thought that enters his brain will indeed spew forth out of that little flapper of his, the way he subtly says Mahomes probably likes TikTok because it runs in the family, i.e. Jackson Mahomes basically lives on the platform, was indeed very savage. So well played, Sir Aaron. Well played indeed. From here, let's talk about someone saying something positive about the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a very odd thing for me to say, and it was even more odd for me to hear it with my own ear holes. Riddick and Max Kellerman are both favoring the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at the moment, and yes, you heard me say that correct.
I'm going to go with Kansas City simply because of this. It's not just because of Patrick Mahomes.
He goes on to say the Chiefs have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Mahomes is a machine. The receiving core additions of MBS, Juju, and Sky Moore are very solid, with talent spread out, and
defensively, they're going to be better as well. The coaching staff remains intact. They drafted very well on defense. Look, I don't know how you can count them out right now. The AFC's loaded. We all know that. We talk about it all the time. Take your pick about which team you want, which quarterback you like, but I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go with Kansas City until proven otherwise also. They host the championship game every single year in the AFC, right? And then McDuffie and Karlaftis for the Chiefs in the draft, I think are just smart, good, solid defending. The secondary and on the line. Lewis, in the end, it does come down to this to me. If the question is football and I'm going to go with Mahomes.
I honestly cannot believe what my ears just heard. It's almost like there are actually a couple of guys out there, other than Nick Wright and his pretty wild takes at times, that have a brain that functions properly. What do you know? And then, per Aaron Wilson, Chiefs tight end Joe Fortson signed his exclusive rights tender. I did not realize that Jody's name was Joe. So is Jody a nickname? I have so many questions now and really need to know the answer to this. Anyway, he technically signed last week, but I believe yesterday the transaction cleared and became officially official. So let's go Joe Fortson. And hey, did you guys know that Russell Wilson and a group of teammates arrive at the Broncos facility early every morning to put work in on their own time? Winning is a lifestyle, the QB said, Russell Wilson. I mean, I found that kind of cool and thought to myself, that must really be helping. Well, I'm not so sure about that one, because Zach Stevens, a beat reporter for DNVR Broncos, had this to say yesterday about the first play of practice. Pat Surtain picked off Russell Wilson and took it to the house. The defense went wild. First play of practice. So Russell Wilson may need to consider waking up even earlier or something, because the extra training does not seem to be working. And then here's a couple of noteworthy recent player signings. Adam Schefter reported last night that former Dolphins free agent wide receiver Albert Wilson has signed a 1-year deal with the Vikings. So there you go. The former Chief who left in 2018 to go to the Dolphins on a 3-year, $24 million contract now finds himself with Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. And I just wanted to mention that I thought it was absolutely bananas, to me at least, that the Dolphins paid Albert Wilson that much money to begin with. But hey, he's on to the Vikings. And then Adam Schefter also reported that former Bears defensive lineman Akiem Hicks reached agreement today, which was yesterday, on a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hicks was one of the better D-line free agents left on the market, and some people within Chiefs Kingdom thought he may have been worth a consideration for the Chiefs. But wow, a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million for a 32-year-old veteran. I think Brett Veach would probably rather be dead than to make a deal like that one. What do you guys think? Who's left on the list worth looking into and considering to help bolster up the D-line a bit? Anyone? Let me know in the comments down below, because it's basically slim pickings from here on out unless a trade happens. And then the Chiefs' 3-part offseason series titled Work to Win premiered last night with episode 1, which was approximately a 10.5-minute documentary-styled video highlighting the main moves that happened this offseason purely prior to the draft.
We wanted to just add more youth and talent on the defensive side, and I think in the early stages of free agency, you're tying up all the loose ends, and yeah, there's certainly occasions where you're going out there and you're signing a high-priced free agent, but more often than not, you're trying to build depth and you're trying to add layers of protection so that when you enter the draft, you can sit there and let the board come to you and add talent.
Veach continues saying every year free agency is different just depending on the cap space that you're able to work with, but I think this year's free agency was definitely a success because from the time we got to the combine, from when we got back here to the time free agency started, we had a definitive plan. We stuck by it, and Justin Reid was part of the plan right out of the gate, and we were able to execute that. And I want to pause here to say this. I am very excited for Justin Reid to be a part of a well-oiled machine, a winning organization that truly has their ducks in a row, if you will, because Houston was truly a dumpster fire when he was there.
There's been so much turnover in my first 4 years. I've had 3 different head coaches, 3 different GMs, 3 different safeties coaches. There's power in having a nucleus of players that you get to keep those guys together and they get to build chemistry and build on that year after year.
So yes, I'm excited for Justin Reid, and his future here in Kansas City is very bright, especially when you compare it to what is over there happening with the Houston Texans. It's bad over there. Juju Smith-Schuster had a nice little snippet in there as well saying, I think the past couple of years I've been in Pittsburgh, I haven't been able to run routes that I want to. Well, yeah, Juju, but you and I both know why that is. Big Ben's arm was hanging on by about 2 threads, and he wasn't only a statue in the pocket, but was throwing some real-life looking ducks out there on the football field. It's actually sad, a bit, to think about this. The Chiefs literally threw Big Ben his retirement party at Arrowhead, and then took one of the Steelers' best receivers in free agency. Low-key, savage of a move if you ask me, and Juju ends his thoughts here saying, and I think coming here, playing with Pat, playing with Trav, all these guys around me who are just weapons, I can learn as I still grow. Oh yeah, bud, you are now here with the greatest duo in the NFL as well as one of the greatest head coaches and staff in the entire league. This is definitely Juju's prove-it year, his real prove-it year, if you will. I mean, that's why he only signed a 1-year deal and nothing longer. So go prove it, bro, and let's freaking go. Then the second half of the video is basically a farewell tribute to Tyreek Hill as they talk about the trade to Miami, the freed up cap space, and the draft capital received from the trade. Yes, but they also talk about the legacy and Chiefs kingdom that Tyreek leaves behind, showing scenes of the Super Bowl win, the parade, and even a piece of his celebration speech at the Super Bowl parade itself.
Chiefs kingdom, man, thank y'all. Y'all been real special all freaking year, man. Y'all, hey, the amount of respect, man, the amount of love y'all give us, man, is tremendous, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Hey, cheat out, man. I love y'all, man.
Yeah, it was honestly sad to watch that back half of the video as they slowly highlighted cleaning out Hill's locker in the locker room and making room for the new upcoming players, and it made everything seem just that much more final, which of course, it has technically been final for months, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Part 2 is dropping on June 7th next week, so stay tuned for that. And then there's a very small update to the Orlando Brown Jr. situation per NFL insider Jordan Schultz, who tweeted this out yesterday. Make no mistake, Chiefs want to extend 3-time Pro Bowl left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. before the July 15th deadline. I'm told Brown, just 26, has been in interview mode with multiple agents as Kansas City stands by. Brett Veach is a huge fan of Brown and knows he's essential to long-term success. So the update is, this man has been interviewing multiple agents. But my question is, how long does it take this man to find an agent? He has had months and months, and the deadline is literally 6 weeks away, and he has no agent, no rapport built with that agent, and no trust established for what may be one of the largest left tackle contracts in the NFL. So, what are you doing here, bud? This entire situation is a bit confusing to me for sure. John Dixon from Arrowhead Pride talks a bit about Orlando's current cap hit on the tag, saying, without a new contract, and if he signs the franchise tag tender, Brown will play the 2022 season with a guaranteed contract worth $16.7 million, but If the Chiefs can sign Brown to a new deal before the deadline, they could lock him in for multiple seasons and probably reduce his 2022 cap hit. And this is also worth noting, there are people out there that have verified check marks on Twitter in Chiefs Kingdom that actually think the Chiefs should pay Orlando Brown Jr. more money than any other left tackle in the league. Devin Clements from Heavy.com says, good morning to everyone except to those who don't think the Chiefs should make Orlando Brown Jr. the highest paid left tackle in the NFL. Well, that's fine, buddy, because at that rate, I don't want to wish you good morning. In fact, I honestly hope your morning was freaking terrible, if I'm going to be honest here. He goes on to say, this is the NFL nowadays, bud. Pay him like he's the best or he doesn't play. Okay, well, 2 questions to that one for you. One, is Orlando Brown Jr. that much of a diva? He would really sit out this entire year and take basically zero pay if he isn't offered an enormous long-term deal instead of playing on the franchise tag? And 2, what is this logic? Do participation trophies now extend to NFL contracts? You now play in the NFL, so you deserve to be paid the most in the entire league at your position just because you made it here. High five. No, that's not how this thing works here, bud. Someone else said, if you want this man to play like the top left tackle, pay him like the top left tackle for the top QB that's worth $500 million. And I want to be absolutely clear here for a second. I am not saying left tackle is not extremely important, but that logic doesn't work either. I would really like CEH, for example, to play like a top running back in the NFL, but paying him more money than any running back in the entire league isn't going to suddenly get the Chiefs top running back production, if you know what I'm saying. Look at Frank Clark, for example. We gave that man a few dozen bags of gold coins, and one of those bags may or may not have contained a couple of Uzis. I can neither confirm nor deny that at the moment, but yeah, we know how that massive contract is working out with Frank Clark. But all trolling aside for a minute here, let's look at the argument of why he should be paid that much money here for a moment, because this is what the thought process is behind that. Orlando Brown is young, only 26, and has even more upside to go, and in theory will have solid play for another 5, 6, 7 more years. So the thought is, sign him now before he becomes that much more expensive. A solid left tackle is not that easy to come by, and it's critically important to protect Mahomes' blind side. So let's see what happens as negotiations take place. I believe the Chiefs will not let Mahomes go unprotected next season, and Orlando will play, but the question is still the same. What will it take financially to make that happen? Probably a freaking boatload, if we're going to be honest here. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Who here is in the do whatever it takes to get Orlando paid and have him start this season camp? Because I don't honestly know what the other option is if he refuses to play. I hope it doesn't come to that, because that would be insane to me, but yeah, we might be stuck, if I'm going to be honest, and royally screwed out of a bunch of money. From here, let's take a look at some of my favorite comments from yesterday. American 1020 sent over a $50 super thanks. Well, holy smokes. And he said, on a plane, messaging you, Cole. Vacay finished and headed home. Finally got the airplane Wi-Fi to work. Yeah, buddy. Thanks for all the vids, especially when away on vacation. Never missed a beat with the kingdom due to your channel. Been here from the beginning. Let's go. Can't wait to see who we start on the wide receiver core. Blessings to our kingdom. Please treat your family. Love from Dallas, Texas. Oh, and then he says, thanks again for all you do. Well, dude, that is insanely generous. Thank you so much. $50. Incredible. I'm glad you enjoy me giving updates, trolling around, and going in on people like this dillweed, Ghostman45, who says this about Justin Ross's one-handed catch at OTAs last week. Dude, it's just a one-handed catch. I've done that in junior high school, no big deal. And to that I say, in your absolute wildest freaking dreams, bud. How did you make those kind of catches back in high school when you were the water boy? That makes zero sense to me. Nate Slaughter sent over a $5 super thanks saying, number 1, Chiefs channel for sure. Much love from right here in KCMO. Well, let's freaking go. He then asks my thoughts on a few hot takes, one of them being Rojo being the sleeper of the entire offseason and taking over the number 1 running back spot, and Mahomes throwing for 5,000 yards and winning league MVP. Well, I'm here for both of those things, to be honest. I'm open to whatever helps this team win another Super Bowl ring. 5,000 yard season? Sure. Just give me the ring. Tyler Barrett says, your beard must control the weather. Dude, I wish. If that were the case, I would have made the thunderstorm from last night go away so my kids wouldn't be scared and I could have actually had some decent sleep. King Bryce Capalot says, you should try to get a player on your podcast. That would be awesome. Yeah, that definitely would be awesome. I guess I need to figure out how the heck to go about that because I don't even know where to start. Dick LeDouche says, Cole, hey, why is Patrick selling the Broncos? I hear the team may sell for over $5 billion and Patrick has only owned them since 2018. Nice profit, but still, why sell? That's a great question, man. I'll need to shoot Patrick a quick text and get back with you on that one. The Sea Dragon says, watch Isaiah Pacheco make it to RB1 and surprise everyone. That dude has wheels for real. Yeah, he is fast as lightning, and I just yelled yeah into the microphone, so I apologize about that. Dustin Cambria gives a $2 super thanks saying, I made my first comment the other day and get a shout out, so I felt I should give a super thanks. Also, I hope everyone saw Kelsey's cameo on Holy Moly season premiere. Pretty sure he's going to be a commentator on next week's episode. Well, thanks for the $2 super thanks, and I honestly did not ever hear of that show. I don't know what that is, Holy Moly, so I'll have to look into that 100%. And then, BB is back and asks, how tall are you, Cole? To which I answered and said, 6'2". And he said, I really thought you was 2 feet. Well, I'm sorry, man. I have 2 feet, but I am very sorry to be such a disappointment. And then Sweaty Dog is back with another $2 super thanks saying, buying coffee for your beer day 2. And to your question, what kind of dog are you? Apparently, I'm a sweaty one. Well, I'm glad you know what kind of dog you are, bud. And I really do appreciate all the super thanks and all the comments, likes, and support from you guys. Your generosity is greatly appreciated, and my family is definitely grateful for all the support. Make sure to leave a comment below to potentially be featured in tomorrow's vid. Sub for more daily news like this, and then check out this channel here called That's Good Sports, which is a much bigger channel than mine, but the guy is hilarious, and I found him because people would often comment saying my style of humor reminds me of this guy. So not family friendly, but check him out for some funny NFL content, and until next time, let's go. How about those